Okay, you guys. Just having a little zucchini. Let's see. Over here on YouTube. And over here on um, TikTok. Can you hear me okay? Ooh, thirsty much? Matter of fact, I am. Matter of fact. So we're going to have some RHOA talk here on Larger Curves. The Curves, aka Larger Curves. I'm simultaneously on my YouTube channel if you want to pop over there. And if you're on my YouTube channel, I'm simultaneously on my TikTok. If you are in the house and you can't hear me, go ahead and let me have a 1 in the chat. Right on, Bianca's in the house. Hey, Bianca. Thanks for coming through. You know I love you, Curvy. My super mod. My super mod is in the house over on the TikTok. Right on. And we are here and we're going to be talking about the Real Housewives of Atlanta. You see the meme that I made? You see that? You know why I made it like that? Because I feel like Angela and Porsha are like hating on Shamia a lot. Oh, no way. I love you more. Hey, Dustin, what's good, babe? How's it going? Thanks for coming through. So, we are here. We're going to be talking about Real Housewives of Atlanta and then also Drew Sidora and Carlos King did an interview on his Reality with the King podcast. And we'll listen to a snippet of that and react to it. And they were talking about Ralph. And, you know, if you have been following me on socials, especially over here on the YouTubes, then you may have heard me say before that I allegedly, in my opinion, speculate and believe that this one right here, Ralph with his biceps and his muscle t-shirt, love bombed and marked Drew Sidora. Yeah, that's my working theory, is that he may have been pulling a Federline. You know, the same situation that poor Britney Spears ended up in because of Federline, that Kevin Federline guy, remember? She married a backup dancer, he knocks her up, and now he's the only one getting child support, and the kids is like in their 20s and he's still getting some of her money or something like that, allegedly. Yeah, like I feel like he totally marked her too. When I say marked, it means saw an opportunity to take advantage of a woman who may not have been in the best place or may have been vulnerable, and you played on her weaknesses and her longing to be loved by a man with nice biceps, and you came in and presented Ralph Pittman. I speculate that you may have presented like you had a lot more money than she was thinking. Because you're doing a lot of complaining now, bruh. You're doing a lot of complaining. Okay? Doing a lot of complaining. And then how was it? Can anybody answer me this? Riddle me this. How is it that Ralph, while he was on the show as Drew's husband, was never home? Rarely at home. Where was Ralph? Always in those streets. Wasn't Drew always crying about Ralph being in the streets when she was at home by herself with the kids? And he was like, I got business. I got business. And he was always in Florida or something. Remember that? Yeah, go ahead and smash that like button, smash the subscribe button if you hear me over here on the YouTube. And if you're over here on TikTok, go ahead and tap the screen. But like I be telling you guys, time waits for no woman. Therefore, I can tap my own screen in the meantime over here on TikTok to show you guys how it's done because it's super simple to engage. I mean, if you're over here watching, then you may as well be interacting and tapping the screen. As they say, it don't cost a thing. And right now I'm talking to two live simultaneous broadcasts, tapping my own screen on the TikTok just to show you how simple it is and that you don't have to really wait for things to happen. You can make things happen. I got goals I'm trying to reach and you got ways to help me reach them. So you see up top here, I have the subscription goal, I have a fan club goal, and I have a goal to get these hearts run. So if you could go ahead and tap the screen. Thanks. Okay. So I'm getting back to it. So yeah, I kind of feel like Ralph marked Drew, saw an opportunity to get at this accomplished. She's been working since she was 8 years old, you guys. She's not broke. People keep trying to act like she don't be paying her people or whatever, but I mean, there's a couple of stories, but they're kind of one-offs because it's not people keep working for her, so obviously. And so she's going to talk a little bit about that in the interview because she actually has come to the realization herself that perhaps Ralph presented in a different way and presented more than what he had and was using her the whole time. That has to be a hard pill to swallow. And then we look at the bottom picture and we see Angela's lizard eyes and Porsha's lizard eyes, and they're hyper focused on Shamia because they covet her life. I said it. They jealous. They jealous and angry. Yep. And I don't even like that trope of an angry black woman, but these two ladies are bitter ninnies. Okay. That's what's happening over here. Because Angela, actually, people are like, oh my God, she's the season. She's the force multiplier. She's moving stories along. What stories? Her story? No, it's not her story, is it? She's doing a lot of business in other people's business, isn't she? I say yes. I say let's delve in more into sure, Charles will be on screen with her, but he doesn't want to be there. And then people turn around and say, oh, Shamia needs to show more of her life. If her husband was more available, then it would be better for the show. But nobody cares that we're on a housewife show with no housewives. But then Shamia needs to show her husband in order to fit on the show about housewives. It's just make it make sense, says the woman who was getting a divorce. That's what Kelly had the nerve to say. Yeah, Kelly's munchkin self had the nerve in a recent interview on something. She just said earlier today that Shamia doesn't fit in. This is a noob talking about a friend of the cast for like over a decade, talking about Shamia doesn't fit in because they don't see enough of no, it wasn't Kelly. I'm sorry, it was Drew. Drew said that Shamia doesn't fit in because it's a show and she doesn't get to show her husband because he doesn't want to be there. I would rather not show the man that doesn't want to be there than show the man that doesn't want to be there, Angela, because it's looking very awkward and it's looking very uncomfortable. It's comfortable for viewers to see how much Charles doesn't want to be around your ass, Charles, girl. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. And I'm saying that I would rather not see Angela and Charles interact if it means watching Charles be Angela's number one hater with zero affection. He wouldn't even tell the producer. The producer was like, do you love Angela? He's like, huh? Do you love Angela? He's like, next question. Like, she's like, give me a kiss. He's like, why do you need a kiss? That is not fun to watch. It's giving Kelsey Grammer and Camille when he let Camille be on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills as he was on his way to his next place. Anyway, back to Ralph. Why was Ralph the first seasons on the Real Housewives of Atlanta? Why was he never home, but now he can't leave the basement because he must have been lying about his financials, in my opinion, allegedly. That doesn't make any sense. You could not stay yourself at home, sir. She was like, oh, he's in Florida. He's in Florida. He's in Florida. Everybody thinks he's cheating in Florida or wherever he was, kept on going. That wasn't Atlanta in any basement. And there was a basement to go to, as it turns out, this whole time. So he didn't even have to have his ass in Florida all the time, doing whatever he was doing all of those seasons when he was her husband in the house. And now they're making it like, well, he's making, oh, I don't have anywhere to go. I can't afford anywhere to be. I can't do this. I can't do that. I'm paying all the bills. Fool, you're supposed to. You're supposed to be paying all the bills, husband. And I don't know what kind of thing he's putting down over there. I mean, it has to be some immaculate stuff happening in his boxers because he got her, Drew, to sign over 40% of herself to him, who needs to now live in her basement, that he asked for a divorce. And then he boasted about asking for a divorce when he went and met Shamia and Porsha. He boasted about all the things that he can do, right? I'm over them. Me too, Bianca. They're irritating to me at this point. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so far, it's a great day. Oh, Aaron's in here? I can't even see Aaron in here. Interesting. Sometimes they show, sometimes they don't. But I appreciate you guys for being in here. So, when I do re-talks about the episode, it's not so much a recap. Like I don't go scene by scene. I go by what really stood out to me about the whole episode and hop all over the place. So in this episode, um, of Real Housewives of Atlanta, I must say that while I appreciated Angela's mom coming on, and she needs to rest in heaven, as it turned out she died since the before she got to see herself on TV. And but I must say that I really liked seeing this season so many moms on Real Housewives of Atlanta. We got Shamia's mom, we got Angela's mom, we got Drew's mom, and we even got Portia's mom. Even if she was talking, calling Shamia a dog, like that's high key disrespectful. High key disrespectful for Portia to then turn around and be like, "Yeah, I can't talk about Mama Diane." I'm like, and to me, when the elders dip their toe in it, they're in it by proxy. So if you're going to be on camera calling me a dog, acting like there's something in my past that people need to think that they need to worry about my character on a show like Real Housewives of Atlanta was my first season as a peach holder, because there's a whole lot of other seasons Mama Diane could let her thoughts get out about Shamia while she was just a friend of. Why did Miss Diane save her negative thoughts about Shamia until Shamia got a peach? Because her and her daughter are in cahoots with the zero storyline. Let's just attack everybody, flail around, because you can't talk about your divorce. You can't show anybody the house you're squatting in, Portia. You can't show anybody the car that you're driving squatting in. You keep having to do scenes everywhere else. We're finally getting back to the Real Housewives of Atlanta that I love, where you're going out to lunches and meet and out in the public and meeting up and having a good old kiki and having a trip or two. That's what I've been waiting for. But I wasn't waiting on it because you didn't have the storyline you said you was going to be able to deliver. Bravo wants a refund. I wonder, is there a refund clause where after you go through the whole thing of being cast as a housewife, if your soon to be ex spouse throws monkey wrenches in your plans, go ahead and tap the screen, smash the like button, smash the heart button, smash the subscribe button, ring the bell, beat the heart, share the video. Yay, we're all here together. So why is it that they get to go ahead and do that? I don't know. I don't really know. But the moms being on was great to me. Um, and if the moms pull a Mama Joyce, as I like to call, or a Mama D, if they do that kind of character where you're totally in on the shits with the millennials and the generation X, Y, B, alpha, betas, if you have the nerve to jump in the fray, then in this day and age, unfortunately, in 2025, you're going to get like you're not an elder. They're going to serve it to you piping hot. They don't care if you're an elder or not. They don't care. You add your 2 cents, you're going to get your 2 cents added back, sir, ma'am. Yeah, they're not trying to hear it. So Mama Diane sitting there acting all coy like she knows what she did and her mama know what she did. And all it appears to me that Shamia has done is let herself play second fiddle to a lady that doesn't know how many years, how many days are in a year, and who believes an underground railroad is a monorail above the ground. Like she's literally been playing second fiddle to a bag of rocks. Like she's been playing second fiddle to a really dull knife in the drawer. She's been playing second fiddle to not the sharpest thing on the, not the sharpest tack. She's been playing second fiddle to all body, no brain. She's been playing second fiddle. Okay. There ain't that much being cute in the world to want to hang around Porsha. I can't imagine. And then it kind of made me feel like, well, does Shamia have an insecurity problem that we don't know about? Because why would she be playing second to Porsha after finding out her mom played second to Mama Diane? What is it? Apples and trees all over the place of Atlanta? I say so. Because Mama Diane and Porsha is an apple in a tree, and Shamia and her mama is an apple in a tree, right? Uh-huh. So there's that. Dum Dum Diddy. And I liked Portia, but she is irritating this season. Exactly, Bianca. Hey, Allie, thanks for popping in. Yeah, it's irritating. I was looking forward to Portia's return. And all I can say is that I'm disappointed and it doesn't look there's her going through a second divorce is no reason to treat people like shit. If it was her first divorce with Cordell and she got notified on Twitter like she did last time, and everybody was rallying for her. Remember when Portia got divorced the first time and she found out on Twitter when everybody else found out on Twitter and everybody rallied, oh, poor Portia. And nobody cared when she called that man, called out attacked his sexuality and all kind of stuff. Nobody cared about that. They all rallied behind her some more. And then they were like, "Oh, you're lucky you didn't have kids with him," because she was begging for his kids, and then she was begging for the next one's kids, and now she did what to Simon, what Cordell did to her. Simon found out he was getting divorced when we found out he was getting divorced from people. She pulled a Cordell on Simon. Now is trying to play victim on RHOA. But we already saw you actually be a victim when you got Cordelled. But you're not a victim if you Cordell Simon. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? And a Cordell is when you notify your significant other that the end of your marriage is on via the press or social media without having a conversation. Simon woke up after they had literally just posted a picture of her ass on a jet ski, jiggling all over the place on the Instagram, because that's all the pictures she ever showed was them happy go lucky traveling, staying here, staying there, private jets, kisses, lap dances, twerk sessions, food. Oh, and remember when she is in Porsha. Remember when Porsha was looking for a house with Simon on her little sideshow where she was beating up Dennis's mother, but mothers are off limits. But she chased Dennis's mother to put her hands on her mother, to put her hands on her child's grandmother. Such the double standard, right? It's a lot, just a lot of disappointment. And for her to Cordell Simon and then act like her squatting in this man's house means that we need to feel sorry for her decision to leave this man. And what I was going to say was, when they were looking for their house, remember that they were like, oh, we need 8 bedrooms because we have 6 children. That's what Porsha was running around with the 8th housewife talking about. We have 6 children. Because Simon has 5 kids of his own, you guys. And they were living in a blended house in a blended family in his mansion that Porsha's currently squatting in. And then she has the nerve to sit herself up here every chance she gets and talk about PJ's hurt feelings from missing Simon. Notice she doesn't say nothing about PJ missing her brothers and sisters, because that would make us remember that Porsha kicked out 5 minor children, all under the age of 18, had to go find someplace else to be and relocate while she's squatting in Simon's house. Why aren't we bringing up the kids now? But then on Sunday, she's crying. Oh, it made me cry when PJ asked when Simon coming back. So you mean the little kid asked about the grown man, the latest uncle in a string of uncles, but not about the playmates that she had? Really, Porsha? Really, Porsha? That's just also you can be that fake victim thing. There's a phenomenon where you'll be like in the literal throes of being a villain and then cry like you stubbed your big toe on the metal frame of a bed and try to make yourself the victim real quick. And Portia's done this. We are on, what episode was this? So like 12 or something. And how many times has Porsha got up and walked away crying in the middle of the episode, in the middle of a talk so far? She did it with PJ. She did it with Shamia last night. She did it with somebody else earlier. And then she comes back talking about, oh, I just needed a minute. No, you're trying to regain control. It's a narcissistic move because they were getting ready to expose you for the thought that you are, or some other type of negative friendship behavior, and reveal the horrible type of friend that you are. So then you're going to and make yourself the victim. And that way you save yourself from being the real villain. It's a lot. It's a lot. And I'm just like, are you guys tired of it yet? Do you think Bravo should definitely get a refund? I think Bravo should get a refund. I think they should have a new clause in their contracts, not just a moral clause that says you can't do any revenge porn. Nope, not just that clause. Not just a clause that says you can't SH somebody or SA somebody, or you got to keep your hands to yourself. Not just that clause. I'm talking about a clause like, if you tell us you're going to have a storyline that's going to highlight your divorce and you rebuilding after you Cordelled your latest victim, then are unable to deliver and instead thrash about the other members of the ensemble cast and attack them constantly and put them on the defense for doing normal shit that you already knew about. Cough, cough, Drew. She already knew Drew and the hot dog man was making music. She already knew. She didn't care because she was on the private jet with Simon. She didn't care. No way, Toria Williams. Thanks for popping through. Yes, how is everything? Your grandbabies are huge, 12 and 17. We have one graduating next year, right? So, yeah, excellent. It's good to see you. I hope everything is good over there. Mamera's in the house. Thanks for coming through. So, you guys get what I'm saying? Like, and Q, it looks like, is over here in this over here. Hey, Q, thanks for coming through. Um, You think Bravo should have a Housewives OG edition for Atlanta and call it a day, because these whores I can't take, right? Like, and I'm trying to give Britt her pass because I think it was horrible what happened to her. And people keep saying, oh, it's been done. It's not the worst thing that's been done to a person on a housewife show. But I have yet for somebody to fill in the blank of what's been worse than somebody presenting you in an explicit act in a room full of people with the monologue that you set up for me to look like I do who res for fun. Like, who's ever done that? Who's ever done anything remotely like that? Moving the chair. She tried to have Kim Fields, the icon, the legend, fall on her tushy. She moved the chair from under her. She flirted with Apollo openly. She lied about having Walter as a fiance. She lied about the Matt thing. I'm talking about Ken now. See how I go all over the. But it's not acceptable. So I do appreciate this season that the women are getting back to a form of basics where they're having the lunches, they're having the dinners, they're having the trips, they're doing the fashions, they're rallying around each other in some cases. And there's some not surprised. Oh, my connection's unstable, sorry. Toria says, so over Drew with all her lies about her divorce and really lying on Ralph. Her divorce stuff is public now. She did not want it unsealed so she could keep lying on Ralph. Ralph is the liar to me, Toria. Like to me, I'm Ralph and Martell Holt and Dr. G are all the same archetype to me. They're all the same narcissistic tendencies of either emotional control or a form of narcissistic abuse, and also financial abuse. And yeah, Kenya was a fraud. Yeah, just like her hair spa's not open. I know, right, Toria? She has all those. She had the perfect opportunity and slipped it through her fingers. That's what the devil does. It'll let you have your blessing right in your hand and you throw it over your shoulder and be like, darn, that's what that was. Yep, that's what that was. Let's see. Um, so does anybody else notice that on all the housewife shows across franchises, pretty much, no matter the state or the country, when one person brings on a friend, I'm doing air quotes, when one person brings on a friend, then either the friend that's brought on ends up with knives in their back from the bringer, or the friend that's brought on will immediately betray the friend that brought them on by exposing some business and i.e. putting a knife in their back. So I was kind of waiting on this relationship to implode just based off of, you know, pattern power. But I was hoping that it wouldn't implode because Shamia's been a friend of for so long. But with now seeing that Shamia has allowed herself to dim her light compared to the glaring fake light that is Porsha, because it's all smoke and mirrors over there. There's like, I'm not sure what substance there is there. I'm not real sure. I'm pretty certain she'll almost sell anything to get someplace. She would forsake everybody but Mama Diane and maybe PJ. But at this point, I feel like she's a little bit of PJ too, because she be trying to have PJ on her YouTube videos talking about come taste the cake at Simon's house that she's not supposed to be filming in for Real Housewives of Atlanta. So her reach around is filming in it for her YouTube channel, where she's also let the people know that's where you'll get the real her. That this her that you're getting right now on Housewives of Atlanta is pretty much a waste of your time. And she's getting a lot of money for wasting our time because it's not the real her. She admitted it. She said the real her is over on the YouTube. And YouTube isn't that bad. But remember when Robin from Real Housewives of Potomac had all that scandal with Juan all season and then took it behind a paywall? Yeah, that's what it's giving. It's like, why do we have to watch 18 episodes, get no truth, and then tune in someplace else to get a truth? She thinks we got time like that? She doesn't know my entertainment hours are limited to a certain number a day and a week. I don't have all day to watch today and then go back and see the real you tomorrow. Be the real you was on reality TV. I don't understand. I don't understand how so many people are getting away with being complete fakes and frauds on a thing called reality TV. It's amazing. The only reality shows we pretty much can for sure say they're pretty much real is Naked and Afraid. Naked and Afraid. That's the only one. They're not faking nothing. They're really naked and they're really afraid. Yep. Yep. But all this Real Housewives of insert city here, half of them ain't housewives. Okay. So it's just a misnomer. But when Porsha and Shamia sat down, okay, well no, first Shamia sat down with Cynthia and was crying about, like, her spirit told her something was going to happen at that Pampered by Porsha work exploitation event, because Porsha was exploiting her fellow cohorts who are all stars in their own right and having them uh, hawk her wares of pampered sheets by Porsha, the unused ones. She's only selling unused ones. So she was having her co-stars sell her sheets. Is she going to share the money with them though? No. Would Porsha have allowed herself to get filmed on some stuff and not get paid? No. I feel like Porsha be taking a lot of liberties with the people, you know? And I thought that Drew's question was a valid question. Are we getting paid for this? Because you terminated my other contract. So I'm holding this sheet that says Pampered by Porsha for my Instagram or what? Like, clarity is key. I appreciated Drew for trying to get it clear, because Porsha will be like, who said that? 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 Where they do that at? Where they do that at? Where they do that at? That's what she'll say. She'll put one of those. Oh, it has 365 days? So the Underground Railroad isn't on top? Oh. So she'll put one of those. So when I work in the M&M factory, I wasn't supposed to throw out the W's. Yeah, she's that girl. Okay. Working in the M&M factory, constantly getting written up for throwing out the W's, which is an M upside down, Portia. That's how daft this woman is that Shamia has been playing second fiddle to. Shamia seems brilliant and accomplished in her own right. And while I do not agree with her having Portia's of all people's back to her own character's detriment, because Angela has a little bit of a point by saying, well, you as a married woman should have had this feeling. But Angela has 0 point because wife came second to being Portia's best friend in that instance and in the hierarchy that Angela was talking about. She's not dumb. She plays to be. Well, she's obviously dumb when she came playing about Simon, because Simon is really worth the money that he was worth. And she and everybody else is thinking he's faking the funk, but she's staying in this $7 million house because the real $7 million that he paid for was real, as well as the other money that he got. And she's squatting in that man's house. And now, next episode, we have to see her go look for another house. She's not interesting. I love Shamia too, Toria. Simon is not paying the mortgage since he's been in ICE custody. Um, well, that would be good. That's one way to get a squatter out of your house. Have it be foreclosed on, and then do the loss on your taxes. And yeah, but she told lies on him about to us. She was ordered to pay exterminator, not Ralph. He turned in his financials and came to find out he pays all the bills. Oh, well, hey, I say continue to pay. Those are your kids. Why should she have to foot the bill? If you want to be in the basement, then pay the bills, fool. The bank is going to put her out. I hope so. That'll be a really beautiful day because allegedly, when Porsha pulled up with Mama Diane, allegedly, didn't Simon or somebody say that allegedly there was a pow pow and they came and put the maid out and the kids out in the middle of the night and she put the 5 minor children and the maid out of the house while Simon was away on one of his trips to Dubai? Isn't that the story allegedly? So I don't have no tears. I'm not crying no tears for her and her Argentina. Don't cry for me, Argentina. Nope, not crying. Not crying, but I am going to tap the screen over here on TikTok. Go ahead and tap the screen. Don't forget that in life you can tap your own screen. You don't have to wait on nobody. You're worthy to tap your own screen. You can get it done. You have the fortitude. You have the power. You have the wherewithal, the persistence, the tenacity, you have the intelligence, you have the self love, you have everything that you need inside of you already to make these freaking hearts go up here and to put your own self in the algorithm. Even if you're asking other people, hey, come in and tap my screen. If they're not, then tap your own screen because I'm doing it right now. And I just tapped and I got, ooh, I sent 192 likes. Right on. Okay. Oh, look, and I got one heart. I didn't even see that. Go live for 2 days. Wait, receive a heart today. Can I get a heart thingy? What's one of those heart crown things? What's that? Thank you. Thank you. Right on. So, yeah, that's true. Ralph should, but Drew should not lie on him. Well, they're both lying on each other. And I have a running theory also about who's the liar of Real Housewives of Atlanta. And it might surprise some of them because I feel like Portia's the biggest liar of the current cast on Real Housewives of Atlanta. You know why? Because we've known Portia longer and she's been on the show longer. Therefore, we've known her to be a liar longer. Therefore, she's a bigger liar because by the length of time is included in the size, and the size makes it big. So whatever lies Drew tells, do tell. And some of it, I feel like Drew really was playing when she said Michael Jordan was her cousin. Who would say that and be serious? Like that's not a serious thing, or we'd already know Drew. Duh, she was kidding, but the ladies are like, "Oh my God, Drew's a liar. She said that was her cousin." But what? So what? You said Charles loves you, but we can't tell. Kenya is the biggest liar in history of the ATL. Oh my goodness. Yes, and that's the other thing. Like to me, being a liar and a family destroyer doesn't make you a big force multiplier. At least Dr. Heavenly be telling the truth. She's not trying to lie on the people. And but when you have to like make up lies like Giselle, literally make up lies like Ashley Darby's forehead, which is full of them. Literally have to make up lies like Portia and Fraudra, who's about to be back on our screens to ruin the last 5 episodes of the freaking season. Okay. I don't know if this is going to be her new superpower to ruin the last 5 episodes of a season because she did pretty good at trying to ruin the last 5 episodes of Married to Medicine, too, if you ask me, in my opinion. But I don't get asked for that. I just tell it. Charles is a woman chaser for real. Hey, Charles is a cutie pie in his own silver fox kind of way. And Angela should hearken the word on the street, which is, girl, I'm not sure what you can do to get on his good side, but your husband should not be your number one hater. I don't know who has a love language where their partner is their number one hater. That feels like a really emotionally taxing relationship to be in, where you're constantly having to adjust for the slight, for the freaking, you know, disrespect, for the seriousness of Charles, and then turn around and tell us it's your love language. And he told us no, he wouldn't tell you he loved you. He don't want to kiss you. He tells you to shut up. Most of the time you come talking to him about everything you come talking to him about, he not on your side. He don't want to hear it. It's not giving loving relationship. It's not giving best friend. It's giving brother and sister when your little sister annoys you hella much and you can't wait to move out and go to college and be with somebody who you really feel like vibing with. That's what it's kind of giving. And then she was making excuses for Charles, talking about, oh, he got kicked out of the Knicks thing, so he went and stuck his peen in somebody else because he needed to feel valued. What? What? And then I keep wondering about how is it that she had a whole excuse ready to go about a side baby and is mad at the women on the show talking about a side baby, but she never corrected Wendy Williams when Wendy had her purple chair about the side baby comment. But now we supposed to care because all of a sudden you care a decade later that the side baby comment got put out by Wendy Williams and now is being repeated on the show that you're on currently, but you didn't care when it got repeated on one of the number one syndicated talk shows in US history. You didn't care about that. You didn't have her do a correction. Wendy's never done a correction that I know of. And you certainly didn't have her do one. But now all of a sudden, no, the women are talking about you, Charles. The women are talking about, do you believe that they believe that you have a side baby? Yeah, because you let the rumor live for the last decade. Of course we believe it. It's the first time we hearing you say, no, it's the first time we hearing you. No, well, what had happened was, what happened was I was over at a party and I walked up to Wendy Williams and I told her it's just a baby girl. Like you really want, and then see, that's what your ass gets on top of it. That's why you didn't have a print of retraction because you knew you was out of pocket walking up to an icon legend like that, assuming that you could say something like that to her in the first place. It's just a baby. And if that's the case, then why are your panties in such a freaking bunch if it's just a baby? And your panties are in a stone cold bunch. It's a lie. It's a lie. He would never, but it's just a baby to the next one. You told an icon is just a baby. But now it's not just a baby for you. Whatever, Angela. Kick rocks. I'm telling you, she is not the bee's knees that people think. She's been coveting Shamia since episode 1. Walked into her Shamia's house, looking up at the ceiling like it was the Taj Mahal Atlanta. That was almost the Taj Mahal. The Taj Mahal Atlanta on the street at Sterling Hall where there's no freaking numbers because her estate is the estate on the street. And then she got her custom Rolls Royce. And then Angela went home and commenced to talking about it so much. I was like, this is weird. And then her husband finally was like, why do you keep talking about that woman's house? You got a life, you got a house, you got things. And she was like, it was obvious that she was like, oh my God, it's just so da, da, da. Why are you so starstruck? You're a whole NBA player legend's wife, and you're starstruck at Shamia Morton's house life? Really? And you got 5 freaking flips in the wings, and Shamia's house is like the house to covet to the point where now you're like picking Shamia apart, trying to drive a wedge between Shamia and Porsha, which isn't hard to do because Porsha is making it very simple, like her. She's making it very simple to come in between her and Shamia because she's actually high key hating on Shamia right now, also. She thought she was going to be able to come in and kind of just be like a little smidge below Shamia. Shamia's house was the highest cost sale house in Atlanta history at 9 million, and Portia's house that Simon bought and is the only name on the deed in where she's squatting, he bought that for 7 million. So it's only going to be 2 million difference in value. Now, granted, the land was massive, and I don't know that Portia's house is the only house on the street, but at least it was going to be 2 million. They both have Rolls Royces. They both previously had Africans. They both have daughters. They both have moms who love them and will do anything and even film with them, right? So I feel like Portia's actually trying to single black female Shamia at this point. And she would pretty much love to wear Shamia as a skin suit. Have you guys checked out Shamia's Instagram? I'm loving it. Okay. I'm loving it. You guys be sure to check out Shamia Morton's uh Instagram because she is jet setting. Her African King has taken her to where are they? They're in Monaco. They were in the south of France. They just got on a super yacht for the next couple of days. I mean, they are going everywhere. He took her to the what's that clover necklace? The Van Cleef store or whatever it is. Um took her all on these shopping sprees and he's all up in the things, giving her all the kisses she wants, smiling so big. He looks like he's into her. He looks like he wants to be there. He's not answering any of her questions with the awkward retort. Nope, nope, Angela, it's not happening. He might not be an NBA legend, but he knows how to treat his boo. You know what I'm saying? California cuties in the house. Thanks for coming through. Thanks for coming through. Let's see. So there's some comments over here on the YouTube. I think Michelle did say it happened about telling them to leave, right? I agree that they are both lying on each other, right? Kenya's the biggest liar. Yep. I've read the court papers. Yeah, they said that I feel like Drew did lie about that. I feel like she was saying, "Oh, I want to protect Ralph," but I think she was trying to protect herself, self-preservation, obviously. I didn't think, why would she be crying those big of tears for Ralph's privacy being voided? Ralph is a complete asshole. Charles is a woman chaser. Yeah, I don't know, Toria. When Porsha said, "Who said that?" And Phaedra was like, "Well, I repeated what I heard. They gave liars a run for their money, right?" Toria says, Dr. Heavenly mad made me mad for not telling the truth about her son when she said was say yes, he got arrested. It's private. She honestly didn't know, Toria. She honestly didn't know. She was not lying. When she got asked the question, she didn't know at that time. When she found out, she came clean. So yeah, because I know she was over on Spill It Boy TV's channel and he asked her about it and she was like, "Oh no, nope, that's not anything that's happening." And then it kept on coming up and she talked to her husband about it and he was like, "Oh yeah, I took care of it." So, I'm not mad at that. I feel like uh she made, kind of good on it. But Phaedra is such a big freaking liar. I don't know. Liars is liability. That's why it's the first part of the word. I just don't understand how corporations can abide with liars as CEOs and chiefs and the stars and shit. Like, they're going to get everybody on set caught up, freaking liars and cheats and thieves. And it's just too bad that for some reason they get glorified. Like, literally, it's 2025, and if you're an honest a person with integrity and you tell the truth and you're nice, then all of a sudden you're like weak and all the things. But if you're a liar and a user and a manipulator, then people are like, "Oh my God, you're so great. Oh my God." And you have like the full-on fan club, and you have a full-on fan club for being a disgusting human, you know? Bianca, you're right. She's a liar. Larger curve. She said his youngest was 5. How long have they been married? More than 5 years, right? Yep. Hey Larja. Hey California cutie. Yep. I don't like Angela at all. I've seen her house before. I went to Georgia last year because she lives in by the mayor, and I was like, "Oh, nice." Yeah, she is. Isn't she giving jealous of Shamia so much? Thank you, Mama Toria, because I was like, "Am I on an island?" I be seeing stuff that other people don't see. That's why we started the channel because people don't have to agree to me. I'll just come over here and talk to myself about it till the people join the live. You know what I'm saying? Because I really believe that Angela's hyper focus on everything that is Shamia is pure envy. It's like worse than jealousy. Like, she's envious of Shamia to the point where she's willing to cause her pain because she's so jealous of what she has. And the pain in this sense is the relationship with Porsha. Because she don't even like Porsha like that, you guys. She still has in the front of her mind that Porsha said she would screw Charles. So she don't even like Porsha like that to be helping Porsha turn on Shamea, except for that it causes Shamea so much angst. At least that's what I'm coming up with. And Porsha is allowing it to happen. And watch when Fraudra comes, Phaedra, aka Fraudra, Feifei, when she comes next week or whenever she's coming with her lies and deceit, she's immediately going to start attacking Angela. And I bet Porsha jumps on the bandwagon right back against Angela because all of that is smoke and mirrors and it's fake because they are against Shamea. Ain't no way I'd play tennis anywhere with a hoe that said she'd screw my husband without answering to me first. She wouldn't have got up the stairs. We would have had it would have been a whole different shot. She wouldn't have got up the stairs. I would have stood in front of her and stood in front of her again and been like, no, we're going to get this straight now. This is episode 3, bitch. This is episode 3. And I have at least 15 more episodes and hopefully a 3-part reunion that me and you are going to have to interact as co-workers. So we're going to stay right here at this pool party in Nashville while you're trying to walk around me. We're going to get this together right here, nip, 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 nip. Because this housewife over here, Shamea, didn't have my back like I thought she would. But I'm just going to check you like the hoe that I see you are. And go in. Angela's very upset that Shamea didn't check Porsha. Why? You've been running around checking everybody. Angela didn't have any problem trying to check Britt about her insurance license, but now Angela needs help checking somebody. Angela didn't have any problem saying some more stuff to Angela in Nashville before they had talking about, oh, well, you came in hot. So she could talk back when she wants to talk back. But now you need help with Porsha from Shamea, of all people, her best friend. So you need her best friend to go against her for you, who is very capable and is proving yourself to be able to very well, as a matter of fact, speak up for yourself. Really, Angela? Is that what you want the people in the back to believe? Because the people in the front see it for the bullshit that it is. That's what we see. We see it for the BS that it is, Angela. We smell stink stink. Did you make a poo-poo? You made a poo-poo? Yeah, it smells like BS. Yeah. Made a poopy in your diaper. Yeah, Angela. Yeah. Okay. So there's a lot. It's a lot. The disrespect and the defiance of Porsha towards Shamea during that lunch where she was rearranging stuff, interrupting, dismissing her, breathing hard, like everything that you would pinch the shit out of a little kid in church for. I know, I'm just kidding. If you would have acted up like that, been breathing all out in church, because I'm tired of being there and been clanking around and making all the rappers loud, would have got him. But she was acting like an impetulant child. I wonder is that how PJ acts when she don't get her way. But even though PJ already told her, Mommy, you can ask me questions because you're not that smart. That's what PJ told Porsha Williams. Her daughter Pilar told her mom that she could ask her the questions because she's not that smart. She already knows. It's okay, Mommy. You have me. You could ask me the questions because you have to look up everything, Mom. You don't know a lot of stuff. So you can ask me. That's okay with Porsha because she just got new tits. That's fine with her because she got new tits. Yeah. And those will answer all her financial questions, which is all the only question that she really wants to answer. So she'll ask Coco and Chanel for financial questions, and she'll ask PJ for all the other questions, and she'll make it through the rest of her life, no problem. Let's see what the rest of these comments are saying. She's having a ball, and this is her trip before she has her new baby. Yeah. Oh, so she's going to try to carry the baby? Or is there a baby in the oven? And then that's the other thing. Can we get a shout out to Dr. Jackie, you guys? A shout out to Dr. Jackie from from Married to Medicine, because did you guys know that the surrogate that Shamia and Candy used is the surrogate from Dr. Jackie's surrogacy center? Yes, that they never talk about on the freaking Married to Medicine. Is very interesting. And so that particular surrogate who birthed Shamia's daughter Shiloh is the same surrogate who birthed Cash. Was the baby's Cash? Or Blaze. And the surrogacy center that Shamia visited to to look at another round of surrogacy with a new surrogate, and they had picked that one, but then that ended up falling through. But that surrogacy center is Dr. Jackie's. Isn't that great? Like, why don't we know this? We need to know this, especially after all of that backlash that she got in for saying what she said. I felt like that entire live was a breath of fresh air for Dr. Jackie and um how it appears that she's very like reserved and like kind of, prude and stuff. I felt like that live, she let her hair down. I didn't take it offensively when she said the statement in the entire context of the 2-hour conversation that the live was. I didn't take it that way. And so I feel like it's a disservice to her brand to not be talking more about her surrogacy center, actually, because I feel like that helps redeem the perceived damage her comments made, where my comment has been and continues to be that her 30 years of bringing life into the world, I will never negate for a that second snippet of a conversation on YouTube. Never will I ever. And I was hoping that other people would extend the same grace, because there's more positive stories with Dr. Jackie's life and legacy, bringing life into the world and being a top-notch GYN. There's way more there than there is on the other side of any negativity. So I think that that should be highlighted. And to whoever's listening, or to whoever's can tell somebody that it matters, it matters, it matters. Okay. Let's see. Shamia House is gorgeous. It looks better than you see on TV. It's so huge. I bet. I think it's like 15,000 square feet or something crazy, right? His court date is coming up soon. The case is not over yet. Why in the world would he not tell her son was arrested? That's an awful thing to do. Well, but if she was just going to blow up and worry, hey, look, sometimes I wish my husband would keep a couple things more to himself. I'd be like, so I had to know that you took care of it, but I had to know that. Like, so I can see it both ways, but you and your husband have the relationship where even if he takes care of it, he's definitely going to leave you in the no, and that I respect that too, very much so. Go ahead and smash the like button, smash the subscribe button if you haven't already, ring the bell. We're going to be finishing up here real quick because I don't want to keep going over an hour on things. I just want to, I'm trying to get this to at least 1,000 likes. Are you guys helping me like the video over here? Are we to 1,000? Oh, 909. Can you guys do some more likes so we can get to 1,000 likes over here in TikTok? Thank you. Angela is just looking for some storyline. She has no story for real. That's what I'm saying. Is Angela and Porsha have the same amount going on? Nothing. 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 Just because Charles films with you doesn't mean that it was interesting or cute to us. We didn't want to see that. And you and your flipping your houses with your little low ceilings and the horrible staging. We don't want to see that. It's not awesome. I'm not saying that people have to come awesome ready, but she's acting like, oh, I have this $3 million house. And it was staged like it was on Craigslist. It was like just horrible staging. Horrible staging. If you're really trying to sell $3 million, have it staged like it's $3 million worth of stage. You know what I'm saying? But what does she really have? And then she's trying to sell us lies. Angela's so full of it. Oh, my daughter's my best friend. She's 24. Then her daughter's like, Mom, I'm 25. So she didn't even know how old her best friend was. Oh, my daughter's my best friend. Tell me you got married. How long ago did you get married? 5 months? Didn't even know her daughter was married 5 months. I'm like, no wonder her mom moved out of that house before she passed away. I can imagine Angela always pulling her, I own this house. I got this house for you. If my daughter needs some place to be, then she can be here. I bought this car. Then you can, oh my God, I got a thing. Bianca Edwards. Thanks. You came over to my TikTok. I love you. Yay. Yay. These give me love. I love it. I'm so excited. Oh my God, that's the second time I ever got those. I'm so excited. Yay. Oh my gosh, I love you, Bianca. Thank you. What is happening? What is that thing? What is a heart do anyway? I don't know. I got heart puffs, you guys. I just got heart puffs. That is so cool. Oh my gosh, that was so awesome. Thank you, thank you. So, I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, looking for a storyline because she doesn't have nothing going on. Not a thing. Except for the fact that letting the world know Charles don't like her and he's obviously available. That's what it's given. Charles might be advertising for his new boo thing. That's what it's given. And I love Black Love, but I'm just not getting no chemistry, no nothing from them. It looked like he wanted to wipe his mouth after he gave her the kiss he reluctantly gave her. People are turning her in that dug up dirt. Yeah, her license was taken down. Yeah, Tori, we looked at that too over here. Michelle Atielian showed us over there. And then of course we was over here looking at those things too. The Reddit thread where it said Angela Diane Reed, which is her maiden name, was banned from doing stuff according to the FINRA. Yep. Blaze, I think. Yep. So proud of Shania. Yep. Shadina, yeah, Shadina was the mom. Dr. Jacqueline really helps women have babies. That's what I'm saying. Oh my God. Did you know that Dr. Contessa really is suing really is suing Buffy for defamation? And Buffy's been posting about it recently on her YouTube shorts and on her Instagram. She's been posting stuff about it. Yeah. Even the house she was selling is in no way going to be 3 million. Yeah, that's not 3 million worth of house. What kind of mother is she? I'm happy that her mother is moving out of the house she got her. I'm tired of hearing she got. That's what I'm saying. That nobody wants to hear that shit. That's like, remember when Vicky Gunvalson bought her daughter that Mercedes and then kept bringing it up to the point where her daughter gave her the Mercedes back? Remember? And she was like, "No, mom, never mind." Remember, didn't something like that happen before with Vicky Gunvalson? Sorry, that's not Black Love. No more Black Mortuary. Yeah, where love dies, right? Keep us up to date on the story about the lawsuit. Yeah, we're gonna have to keep an eye out for that because I don't know, people are crazy. And 8.5 is suing the anesthesiologist place. And then this one has, oh my God, a big heart galaxy thing. What was that? No way. What was that? That was so cool. OMG. Bianca Edwards, #1 gifter. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Do you like how I did this over here? I had to get the thumbnail set up for TikTok Live so it could all be seen. I like it, but I need to move the words down maybe next time, and I keep having to move. So you can see, I feel like these graphics are great. Do you guys like the graphics that I did for today's live? I really like it. Vicky Racist Gumbelson. Yep. Yep. I mean, there are so many. I mean, pretty much all the OC is, I'm pretty sure, a form of that. And even like when I watched Shannon on and Luann, remember? Oh my God. So I'm going to segue you guys real quick to Love Hotel. That was all I really had to say about Real Housewives of Atlanta. So now I'm going to segue into Love Hotel. I'm so happy you're here. No, I'm happy you're here. This is so cool. Um, so Love Hotel has Ashley Darby's forehead and it's still full of lies because she came on the show talking about she was dating that guy Josh and it didn't work out. And now, while she's still currently airing Love Hotel, they started filming Real Housewives of Potomac, and who's on Ashley's arm? The damn Josh guy. So she was lying. They are still kicking it, and she wasn't really even looking for love on Love Island, I don't think, or at the Love Hotel. If you leave the Love Hotel and immediately run back to your boo thing, were you really at the Love Hotel for the experiences or just to swap spit on camera? You know what I'm saying? And she doing a lot of wops, spit kissing, licking all those old men. She love them old. She love them 60 plus and gray. She loves gray pubes. She loves it. I mean, I don't know if the guy has dentures or not. I'm not sure. I don't know if he smells like Ben Gay or not, but I feel like that she likes him old. She has the chance for a young Wale. Ooh, Wale is a fine drink of water, but she don't want the young. She don't want nobody that can buck back. She wants to do all the bucking. She wants to do all the bucking and blow their mind. Yeah, that's what I think. I don't know. Anyway, so Luann from Real Housewives of New York is on the island at the hotel. Giselle's neck looking very good these days, you guys, and her ankles. I think she got some of the glutide or the Margiano, and that little puff that she had, even though she was already beautiful, but she did have like that little thickness that ladies have when they get a little older. Well, the glutide makes all that stuff gone, y'all. The GLP-1 inhibitors, yeah, it gets all that stuff gone real good for the ladies. Yes. So she looks like she had some of that, and Shannon from the OC. So it's two people from Potomac. And remember, the last time we saw Luann on Real Housewives of New York was when Ebony K. Williams, the first Black housewife of New York, was on the show. And remember at the infamous lunch at Luann's Hampton house after she got in trouble for spending her kids' trust fund, remember? And she had to move from New York, and she had to be in the Hamptons, and they all came over for a lunch to still have her in the show. Remember that? Remember? Well, and Ebony K. Williams was sitting at the table, and somehow they got on the subject of education. And Ebony K. Williams turns and says, "Yeah, I looked it up. I'm the most educated woman here." And Luann went ballistic. Remember Bianca? Luann went ballistic. Finger hearts. Oh, gosh, that's so cool. Luann went ballistic. Remember? She got her thong in a complete wad because Ebony K. Williams said the truth that she was the most educated person on their cast. To which Luann said, "How dare this woman?" She took it as the lady was calling her stupid. "How dare Ebony call them stupid?" And she's like, "I'm not calling you stupid. I'm just stating a fact. I'm the most educated woman here." To which Luann said, "Oh, well, there's more to life than education. There's more to life than book education. There's world education." Because Luann was a nurse, but the doctorates and the masters and the PhDs, Esquires, Juris Doctorates that freaking Ebony K. Williams had did far outshine and outweigh the nursing of Luann. But Luann does have like the world travel, marrying account for with an open marriage and all of that stuff. She did have all of that stuff in spades. But she went ballistic on Ebony K. Williams, right? So now she's on Love Hotel. And somebody was talking to her the other day, and she was like, "Oh my God, I love an education, man. I love people when they're smart. Oh my God, he's so smart. And I love smart people." She didn't go ballistic this time. And I was like, "Oh, it must be because there's peen involved." She did not go ballistic, you guys. It was funny. It was funny. Uh-huh. So anyway, Ebony K. Williams actually had a baby, you guys. She did in vitro and got pregnant on her own. Her and Lala Kent. So it's a thing people do at Bravo. Um, Both decided to get baby batter and have it on their own and hold it and have a baby with it. And so she's a single mom, Ebony K. Williams, and I think she had a boy, but I haven't seen the boy. I haven't heard the hair no tied or nothing. And I went to her Instagram. I ain't seen nothing. I haven't really, yeah. So I'm gonna actually check it out when I get off of here. But she recently did an interview with none other than Carlos King. So, I was going to try to play the Carlos King interview, but I don't know if my computer will let me. Oh, you like it, Toria? Thank you. What gets rid of neck wrinkles, you said? Yeah, what gets rid of neck wrinkles? I don't know because when I took the semaglutide, it made more neck wrinkles, you guys. When this fat started leaving and it freaking left this little sag right here, I was like, let me go eat something. We are not having this freaking sag right here. We got to figure something else out. I don't know. I don't know, y'all. But yeah, Ebony was the most educated. Yeah, never watched that show because you absolutely dislike Shannon more than any person else. So, okay, what's your dislike for Shannon? Like Shannon Storm Fedora, I kind of liked her when they were like the Trace Amigas. I didn't mind her when she was married to David. I felt sorry for her when David left her for the pretty young thing, you know. Um, but I did like her more when she was in her crystals phase and going to see that wacky doctor and all that. I liked her a lot then. Oh, the answer here. Ants. It's the first ant of the season. My Zindin. I don't know. I think it's because I'm a sweet mama, you guys. I'm a sweet mama. And when it gets hot outside, every year the ants come in literally my window. They literally crawl up the, I'm on the second floor and I'm over a garage. So there's like not grass under me. There's not no damn freaking plants, no roses, no sugar, no nothing. I'm literally over a garage and these little ants come in through either the light socket, like those ants on Zoo. Did anybody see that series called Zoo when all the animals went crazy? And they had some ants that would, they were like the electric ants and they would like eat the people's electric stuff. Uh-huh. So these ants in California be coming out my electric socket or through the little space in the window because they're like water, they'll find a way in. And next thing I know, I have a trail of ants to the cookie crumb that my 12-year-old decided was ugly and threw away because he has that thing. What's that called when your kid is on the spectrum and they have that thing where they don't like ugly food and they're very particular about stuff? It's called aphid or aphib or something. I need to figure it out, but I'm really not trying to put a whole jacket on him, but I did notice that he only likes certain things and he will not eat anything that doesn't look a certain way. So, like if a cookie isn't perfectly round or perfectly perfect, he'll pinch off the little part that's not perfect and throw it anywhere in my house. So that's usually by the time, yeah. And I vacuum and stuff, but then it's like all it takes is one thing for an ant to be in here and be like, come on in, fellas. And I'm like, now, did you need to really call 10,000 of your cousins to come get this little teeny tiny piece of cookie here? No, you didn't. But they do it every year. You have a remedy for ants? Yes, please send it to me because I try cayenne pepper, I try cinnamon, I try bay leaves, I try boric acid. I put stuff outside the house. But you know what works the best every year? Finally, good old fashioned ant stakes. Like my grandma used to use. She used to have those metal ant stakes outside in our garden. Remember those metal ant stakes your grandma used to have in the garden? Yeah, they don't come metal anymore. Now they're little plastic things. And that usually will eventually get rid of them. But honestly, I kind of feel bad because I'm like, the world needs ants. God made ants for a reason. And but the reason isn't coming in my Zen den into my office through the electric socket thing. I try to tell him, I try to redirect him. I really do. Just like I talk to spiders, I'll see a big old spider in the corner. I'll be like, look, spider, I don't really want to kill you. I know you probably have a family. I need you to go someplace away from me without hurting anybody in here. And I don't want to see you when I come back in here at 7:30, okay? And I'll tell the spider things like that, and the spider will go away, and I won't even see the spider no more. I'm like, I need you to leave. And the spider will leave. And yeah, you can talk to things. But these ants don't fucking listen. That's what the problem is. These ants are like my little kids. They don't listen. You know how little kids these days just don't listen? These ants don't listen. I be trying to have a conversation. I'm like, wrong direction, wrong road, turn around. The kind of like how Porsha was trying to act with Shamia, like it was the wrong time to have a conversation about what a bad friend I am. So I be trying to tell the little ant, but no, the ants don't want to listen. They're on a mission. They're trying to find the cookie that my son left on the floor, you guys. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. She lied about going to rehab where she went was a wellness spa with juices and smoothies. Yes. Yes, she drank the whole time, never stopped. Yeah. So she's actually worse than Karen Huger. And I don't know why everybody was so mad at Karen Huger. And Shannon and I didn't feel like got any of the ire that Karen Huger got. Karen hit a tree. There was nobody at home in the tree watching the TV. Shannon hit a house where there was a person at home in the house watching the TV. What's worse? They're both inanimate objects, but one is full of people. So to me, it was worse for Shannon to hit a house and then get out of the car and walk away like she didn't do nothing with her dog, like, oh, I'm just out here walking my dog. Whereas Karen waited for the proper rehab eventually. Oh, look, this connection is wonky. I won't be able to play the darn um, Carlos King interview right now. I'll have to come back and play it later because it's very interesting. We're going to put it on hyperspeed and listen to it because, yeah. Did you guys happen to see? You know who the rapper Chaotic is? He loves Drew, you guys. He thinks Drew is his Beyonce. He wants to be her Jay-Z. He loves Drew Sidora. So he's like, you want to go on a date? And she immediately like gave him the once over. Like you kind of look like Dennis there. He doesn't have that body yada yada like Ralph. But Chaotic is a good looking guy. You know, he's not as round as Dennis. Because on the interview with Carlos King, Carlos says, "So did you like Dennis?" And she said, "I like biceps, not bellies." Go Drew. Go Drew. We got them when it gets hot in my kitchen now. Yep. Use Toro liquid ant baits. Yes, they really work. Take the stuff back to their home. Yeah. But like I'm saying, I feel bad about it a little bit. Have you guys not seen any bees? I haven't seen hardly any bees, and that's bad for our environment. We need the bees, we need the frogs, we need the ants, we need all the little things they call pests. We need the dandelions. If you haven't sprayed Roundup in your yard, then just get the dandelions, wash them off really good. And you can make dandelion root tea. Google it. It's good for so many things, but they told us it's a weed and that we don't need it. So I had a dandelion poking up through the freaking concrete on the side of the house. And I had a thought. I was like, if it's that strong to poke up through concrete and live in spite of it, then imagine the benefits that that could pass on to a human, right? Anyway, I appreciate you guys for coming through. I appreciate you for being you, my curvy crew here on YouTube. Mama Toria, it was such a pleasure to have this little conversation with you. I miss you so much. Bianca Edwards, Mamere, Dustin, freaking Q's channel. I didn't even see you. Hi, Mama. Thanks for coming. California Cutie and everyone else over here. I really appreciate you guys for coming. And to all my new curvies over here in the TikTok streets, I appreciate even bees. I just be talking to them. Like, bee, will you get away from me? I'm hella scared of you right now. You smell sweet, but you're freaking me out. And the bee will leave me alone. I don't know. I don't know. Was your friend like swatting at it and scared it? Because sometimes that can happen. Yes, I'm so happy you got the notification too. Yeah, on YouTube, make sure you have your bell rung because I go live whenever. On TikTok, I'm not sure what you can do to get notified next time I go live, but there's something on here. We'll figure it out together. I'll see everybody in the next video. Peace. Oh, you're allergic to bees. Wow. Well, I pray that nothing ever happens to you with a bee, Mama Toria. See you guys in the next video. And remember what I always say, there's enough to go.